Hey, yo, hey everyone, Skylinks here, bringing you another video review. Today we're going to be doing another Batman review. We're going to do a 2-in-1, and that would be Batman The Long Halloween and Batman Dark Victory, with Dark Victory being the sequel to Long Halloween, so they're pretty much one big comic. Both written by Jeph Loeb, and I hope I said his name right, but Jeph Loeb is my favorite writer. Whenever he does Batman works, I'm happy because they always turn out to be masterpieces. Whenever he does any work, I read them and I love them. He is phenomenal. One of the best writers ever, in my opinion at least. Okay, just a quick rundown. Because of DC's Zero Hour, which took place in 1994, it was published in 1994, my bad. Because Zero Hour happened, a lot of things in the DC universe were changed. Zero Hour is really just a way to tweak and to fix and change the origin stories of some of the characters. Examples of this would be Catwoman was never actually a prostitute as she was depicted in Batman Year One. She was actually just a thief, building herself up. Another example would be Batman never confronted his parents' murderers. Thus, Batman Year 2 never existed and was erased from the continuity. That and Batman Year 3 also. So because Batman Year 2 and Batman Year 3 never happened, something needs to fill the void, because there's a lot of gap there. And Batman The Long Halloween and Dark Victory does that. The Long Halloween takes place right after Batman Year 1, and it is a year-long event. It's really more or less used for a transition from Batman's combat enemies being mob bosses to his actual rogue gallery of Poison Ivy, Two-Face, Joker, etc., etc. The main characters in this are really Jim Gordon, Harvey Dent, and Batman, with Catwoman appearing quite often. And the main mob boss in this is the Falcone family. And basically, it's just Harvey Dent, Jim Gordon, and Batman trying to take the Falcone family down, while also trying to protect them too, because at the same time, a murderer is going around calling himself Holiday, him or herself. I'll leave that. And the reason why they call themselves Holiday is because they would only kill on holidays, and after they killed, they would leave a gun, and they would leave a memento of that holiday. For example, Christmas they would leave a candy cane, or Halloween they would leave a pumpkin. Example. So anyways, this is a phenomenal story, and it reads very well, and it reads quickly. It's a thick story, too. Look at that. Look at that. I love thick stories. You all know I love thick stories. I love the interaction between Batman and Catwoman. Always marvelous. Always marvelous. And this book just makes you love Jim Gordon that bit more. Now, Harvey Dent. I always liked Harvey Dent just as Harvey Dent. I thought he was such a great, strong character. It's almost, bittersweet when he becomes Two-Face, because you lose one great good guy and you get a fantastic bad guy. So he does become Two-Face in this. And it's really sad, too. But anyways, great story. If I could compare it to anything, well, first of all, this is the basis for Batman and the Dark Knight. So a lot of stuff you read in this will be seen in the Batman and Dark Knight. So, if I could compare this to anything, this reads a lot like The Godfather was. A lot of it is dealing with mob bosses and mob family. They even in the back of the book give you a family tree of the Falcones. Now, it's very twisty and turny, and throughout the whole novel, you think that you know who the Holiday Killer is. But you'll be surprised on who it really is. And it really comes down to 3 people admit that they are Holiday's killer. But it's actually just 1. Well, kind of 2. You have to read it. It's great because a lot of villains show up in this. The Joker shows up. Catwoman shows up. Of course, she's not really a villain. She really helps Batman a bit. Riddler. Who else? Let's see. Scarecrow. Poison Ivy. Two-Faces. So a lot of Batman's rogue gallery comes out. The only ones I can really think that don't show up is the Penguin. But the Penguin shows up in Dark Victory. Excellent read. Great, great action in it. The art is unique. The art takes a little bit to get used to. At times it's very phenomenal, and at times it's just kind of eh. The only complaint I have is Joker's grin is ridiculous. Let me see if I can get some good art. That and Catwoman can be seen as way too jacked. But the art is nice, and you get used to it, and it turns out to be really good. Let me see if I just can get a good picture of Batman alone. I don't know, right here. Maybe if you could see that, you probably can't. My light's not on. There we go. Maybe you can see that. It's good art. The art is good. And again, it takes time to get used to. Tim Sale is a good artist, and even though I like realism, this is nice and grungy, and Batman can get away with being dark and grungy for his art. Now, at the end, obviously, the head of the Falcone family dies off, and his daughter takes the position as the head. So then that brings us to Dark Victory. And Dark Victory basically wraps up what happens in Long Halloween with the Falcone family, basically totally, utterly destroying it. Well, at the same time, Batman has to deal with Harvey Dent, or now known as Two-Face, getting tons of villains such as Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, the Joker, Mad Hatter, and Scarecrow, all working together for his own purposes, and at the same time trying to deal with the murderous Hangman. Now, the Hangman is similar to Holiday in that Hangman only targets specific people, and they target cops. And at the same time, they leave a little Hangman riddle for the person to figure out. This is also nice. It reads a bit slower than Long Halloween. I went through Long Halloween real quickly, and despite the fact that it's thicker, well, this is thinner, it took me a little bit longer for Dark Victory, but very nice. Don't be fooled by the picture on the front. Robin is there, but Robin doesn't really show up until the last third of the book. And it's nice how they introduce Robin. Standard Robin story. Family dies, circus accident, finds out Bruce Wayne's identity, or Bruce Wayne reveals his identity, becomes Robin. The dynamic duo. I have to say, Dark Victory is a little bit darker. No pun intended. It is a little bit darker, and I think Long Halloween is a little bit better because it reads faster and it's more fast-paced. However, this is very much a thriller also, and you don't know what's happening too. So again, the art is pretty much the same. Well, gotta do that again. The art is pretty much the same. That though, there's a little bit more color into it. The pages are a little bit more smoother too. I just need to feel to make sure. But it's very the art is very nice once you get used to it. I have to say that it is very nice art. See that? Maybe that can give you. See, the art is a little grindy and dark, but it's a tad bit cartoonish. But however, it has a sense of realism, and it is nice. It is nice. Beautiful art. Now, Deathloop and Tim Sale does team up for Batman Haunted Knight, but I have not picked that up. I'm debating on whether I will. If I do, I'm going to probably do it I'll probably do it later. But Batman The Long Halloween and Batman Dark Victories are definitely both great reads, and I highly, highly suggest picking them up, especially after year one, because it picks up right after year one. Unless you really want a good Batman read, I avoid getting year two and just picking these two up. Pick this one up first. They are not cheap. They are $20 each. However, my comic book guy, I walk in, it's $20. He goes in, he's like, oh, $18. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, you come here enough. You get 10% discount on everything. I'm like, whoa, okay. That's cool. 10%. I got you. But yes, I highly, highly recommend picking them up. Great reads. And, you know, Batman always gives you great reads. Again, they read a lot like The Godfather was, the Godfather movies, if I could compare it to anything. Maybe a little bit Godfather and Departed thrown in there. I don't know. You have to read them. But definitely pick them up. Awesome reads. With that said, this is Skylands. I got to say peace out for now.